Welcome to the Coastal Kitchen. It's August and it's full of special things this month. One thing that's special to me is it's National Eye Exam Month, and we're celebrating that with a eye of round roast, black-eyed peas, eye-poppin' blackberry cobbler, and honeyed carrots. They're all good for your eyes. So you ready? Let's get started. Okay, I have got a beautiful eye of round roast, and this does not have the bone in. And what we're going to do is we're going to roast this in the oven, and we're going to spice it up. And the first thing that I've got to do is get my spice mixture ready. And I like to use a certain 6 pepper spice, and I'm going to put it in a jar, and I'm going to put 4 tablespoons in that jar. I'll have to clean up later, but it's okay. I'm going to use parsley flakes, the dried kind, same amount, 4 tablespoons. And I suggest you use your favorite steak spices. And this has a great mixture of all kinds of pepper. And I'm going to put just a little bit of salt. There's plenty of salt in these spices, so if you don't have a recipe that has lots of spices, don't put in too much salt. And I'm going to shake this up. Get it mixed up. We're going to take this and massage it into the meat on all sides. Just pour it right over the top. And I want it to get all down on my platter because I'm going to massage it in and then I'm going to do the other side. Okay. Just pack it in, massage it down. Bring some up the sides. And then we're going to prepare our pan. We're going to put this in a cast iron skillet. I love to cook in cast iron. I think it really makes things cook beautifully. And it goes right into the oven, because this is going to go into a 450-degree oven for 1 hour until we are all done. We're going to get the temperature up to about 125, anywhere between 120 and 140. It's going to give you a medium rare finish. Okay, got it packed on, packed in, and let me rinse my hands off just a sec. And I'm going to grab my olive oil. I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of olive oil in my pan. And I'm going to roll it around just a touch. And put my flame on medium high. As soon as my pan heats up, I'm going to put the meat in it. But in the meantime, I'm going to take some more of this olive oil, put in my bowl. And I've got some potatoes. Make sure you get the eyes out of them. They're red potatoes and they've been washed. And I'm just going to roll them around in some olive oil and a touch of salt. Because these are going to go in with our roast. It takes about an hour for them to cook, so we're going to be good. Alright, that pan's starting to get hot. So I'm just going to pick up this roast, transfer it right there. I'm going to take some of this extra, put on the top. Let those herbs get into the olive oil. And we're going to let that brown for about 3 minutes. Should come up pretty quickly. This is a great meal to serve when you don't want to stand in the kitchen and do a lot of cooking. Because once it starts, you can get up and walk away. Okay, let's check it. Oh, doing great. I'm going to turn this over. Get the top side done first after I've browned a little off of the bottom because I want this turned face up when it goes in the oven. All right, let's turn this over. Starting to form a lovely crust. Just a couple more minutes. Okay, looks like we're about ready. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of water in the bottom of my pan. Not much, just a little bit. Want that to sear nice and close. I'm going to turn my heat off and I'm going to grab my potatoes and I'm just going to lay the potatoes right around the roast. If you want, you can cut the potatoes up a little bit. All right. Let's make room for one more big one. Okay. Got that, and it's going to go right into a 450-degree oven. Doesn't that look great? All right, we're going to clean up and I'll be right back and we'll start working on our carrots and our black-eyed peas.
ATMC TV and the Coastal Kitchen would like to say thank you to our sponsors at Holden Brothers Farm Market in Shallotte for supplying the fresh produce on this week's show. For over 25 years, the Holden Brothers Farm Market has specialized in the freshest locally grown produce on their 250 acres in Shallotte. Swing by their indoor market located near mile marker 10 on Highway 17 or check them out online at holdenbrothersfarmmarket.com.
Welcome back. Let's start making our carrots. These are honey glazed carrots and I've used between 1.5 pounds and 2 pounds. This will feed a lot of people. I'm having company over tonight, so I want to make sure I've got plenty of these good little coins. I've got them cut in the round coin shape and they're about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick. I'm going to put them in my big pot, and what I'm going to do is just cover them to the top with water. We're going to let these go for about 10 minutes. Just want them nice and crispy. All right, this is going to go on some hot heat. We're going to bring this up to a boil. Want to keep them a little tender but a little crunchy at the same time. We're going to start on our black-eyed peas because we need some heat under this bacon. I've got 6 strips of bacon and I'm going to let this cook while I'm getting my peas ready. Want it to brown, and we're going to use it as a garnish on the top of the peas when we serve them. Okay, I'm going to add some green beans in with my peas. You can see I've got my black-eyed peas here. These are fresh black-eyed peas and they've already been parboiled for just a few minutes. If you use dried beans, dried black-eyed peas, you can soak them overnight, or if you'd like, you can put them in a pot, boil them for about an hour and let them sit for about an hour, and they'll be ready to go per cooking directions. Okay, got some greens in there. All right, we've got to cut up an onion for our black-eyed peas, and I'm going to cut the end off here, and I'm going to peel the first layer off. The flavor of the onion and the bacon are the basis for these black-eyed peas. Okay, ready to go. And I'm just going to slice down a little bit. These don't have to be perfectly formed, just nice and chopped. It's the flavor we want. And a nice big chunk of onion in your black-eyed peas is good. Lots of times I'll cut some fresh onion or some scallions to put on top of my black-eyed peas as a garnish also. Okay, those are just about ready. Let me check on this bacon. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. Getting brown and splattering like crazy. Should be done in just a minute. Alright, let's finish cutting up these onions. Nice rough chop. That's all we need. Alright, let's see how our carrots are doing. They're getting ready to start to bubble. Just going to take these out and put this on a paper towel as soon as they're ready. Drain them off just a bit. Any parts that don't get done, just turn them over, put them in that grease, and they'll cook in a heartbeat. I'm going to turn my heat down now. All right, we're going to slide these onions in. I'll tell you what, there's nothing like the smell of a burning onion. That's why you got to watch it real closely so these onions don't burn. Let that bacon grease get right into the cooking process. We're on low now. Want that to cook for just a few minutes till they become tender. And then we're going to pour some of that bacon grease off. All right, let's put this over here. I have gotten my bacon drippings taken off, and we're putting our peas and beans in. Just right on top. That's all you need to do. And I'm going to take my spoon. Got this on low. Secret to these beans, lovely diced tomatoes and green chilies. So our black-eyed peas, 1 can, are going to be scrumptious. If you want to spice it up just a little bit more, do what I do, dash of hot sauce. Use your favorite. I think that'll be enough for everybody that's eating tonight. Okay, gonna let that heat up for just a minute. I'm gonna go grab my measuring cup because I'm gonna put 3 cups of water on top of those beans. That's 2. And that makes 3. Okay. Gonna stir a second. Let's put some, I'm going to use ground pepper in this. Put some fresh ground pepper. Give it another stir. And I want you to take a look at that. Doesn't that look great? We're going to put the lid on. Grab one here real fast. And I'm going to turn the heat back up to medium. And those are going to cook about an hour. Let's look at our carrots. Bubbling and boiling. Okay. We're going to drain the carrots. Let me grab my pot holders. And we're going to let these sit for just a minute after they're drained. Watch that steam. Okay. I think we can just put that right down there. Now, I have a saucepan over here ready to finish this out. I'm going to put all of our butter in. And our brown sugar. We're going to turn this on high, move it down to medium, and we're going to stir that up and get that going until the sugar is melted. All right, that was quick. All butter is melted, the sugar is melted, and we're going to put our honey in now. 4 tablespoons. And you can eyeball it. And if there's a little bit more in there, it just makes it a little bit sweeter. Okay. Mix that around. Alright, we're going to take it off the heat for just a moment and put our carrots in. Let them drain just a moment. Put juice of about half a lemon in on top of that. Gives it such a good pop of flavor. But you want to do that off the heat. All right. Get that all mixed in. Now come our carrots. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that all of my carrots are covered in the sauce. And if you like, once you get it all mixed up and good, if you want to put a little more salt or a little bit of black pepper, that's up to you, because it's the way you like it. All right, everything is covered and coated. And this is going to go into a 350 oven, uncovered, for about 20 minutes. So let's put it in this side. I'm going to put this over here, grab my pot holder, and take a look at those black-eyed peas. Perfect. Bubbling and ready to go. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors, and we'll make our eye-poppin' blackberry cobbler.
The Coastal Kitchen would like to say thank you to our sponsors at Holden Brothers Farm Market in Charlotte for supplying the fresh produce on this week's show. Swing by their indoor market located near mile marker 10 on Highway 17, or check them out online at holdenbrothersfarmmarket.com.
Welcome back. Now it's time for our eye-poppin' blackberry cobbler. Real simple, real easy. I have a stick of butter. I've got my glass 9x11 pan, and I'm going to put this in my oven. I just started it at 350, and that's going to melt as the oven preheats. All right. We're going to take our blueberries first and pour 3/4 of a cup of sugar over these blackberries. I've been working with blueberries so much I'm calling them all blue. Okay, now the juice of half a lemon. Real easy, real simple. I have a friend from this neighborhood that actually gave me the recipe. She's no longer with us, but I think that she'd be happy to know that we were making this today. Okay, rinse those hands off real quick. And let me grab a spoon. And I just want to make sure that this gets completely coated all the way down. And we're going to sit these aside for just a few minutes. So let's get that lemon juice in with the blackberries. And we're just going to keep this right here. Okay, the batter is one of those that are very simple. We're going to put our flour, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of flour, and 1 cup of milk. Just all in and whisk it around until it gets smooth. And I'm going to keep an eye on my butter because I don't want my butter to brown. I just want it nice and melted. And this can sit for just a minute after you make sure it's smooth because it'll smooth up just a little bit more just sitting. Scrape down the sides. And this is a real easy recipe to double because I like a little bit more cake effect in my cobblers. Great end to a wonderful meal with a little bit of vanilla ice cream. Even whipped cream would be great on this. Okay, I'm going to let that set aside for just a moment. I'm going to give this another little stir because I want those juices to start working. All right, this is going to take a few minutes. You can actually make this ahead. Keep it in the juice for about half an hour and it really starts to get nice and juicy. Just give those berries a little squish. Let me check my butter. Almost ready. And let's give this another stir. The meat should be ready in about 5 minutes. And when we take that out, we'll have our cobbler in and be getting ready to prepare for our meal. Just remember, when you use a whisk, I know I've told you this before, but whisk with your arm and not with your wrist. Keeps your arm from getting so tired. Okay, that's lovely and smooth. Take a look at that batter. Looks like silk. Okay, our butter is all melted. Looks great, not brown. Let's stick that right there. And I'm going to bring this right over here. And what you want to do is just make sure that you don't stir. This is a don't stir. Pour this right down the center. And now it's time for our blackberries. And what I like to do is just lay a spoonful in each area. Don't stir. Just make sure you get some in each each space. That gives everybody a great taste of blueberry, blackberry. They look blue. Alright, I'm going to take some Demerara sugar, which is brown sugar crystals, and I just like to put about a tablespoon in my hand. Just sprinkle it on the top. This makes the crust absolutely fabulous once you take it out of the oven. Alright, that should be good. It's going to go in a 350 oven for about 30 minutes. Just want to make sure that it's browned on the top. And we'll have dessert. Okay. My carrots should be ready to come out about now. Oh, nice and bubbly. Let me grab a spoon here. Just the way they should be. Some people like to put a little bit of cinnamon on their carrots, but since I'm making this a more savory meal, I'm not going to put cinnamon on the carrots tonight. Okay, I'm going to let those sit for just a minute. Let me grab a cover. It's time to take our meat out of the oven. Let's slide this over here. And one carrot in the sink. Oh boy, does that smell delicious. Okay. Nice and hot. Take a good look. Isn't that beautiful? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the cooking process from that pan. I want to do two things to make sure it's at the medium rare stage, which I'm going to put my meat thermometer in, see where we are there. And we're at 120, and we're going to put this on a platter. I'm going to grab a big spoon to get my potatoes out. Put my potatoes right around my roast. And let's keep that right there for the moment. And I'm going to take some tin foil and just cover the top. Want this to sit for about 30 minutes covered, just so those juices can really get in there. And don't worry about cooking it medium rare, because if you need to, some people like their meat a little more done than this. You can cut off a piece, throw it in a skillet, and bring it up just a little bit more. So this is almost ready. I'm going to clean up and we'll be back to put everything together.
The Coastal Kitchen would like to say thank you to our sponsors at Holden Brothers Farm Market in Charlotte for supplying the fresh produce on this week's show. Swing by their indoor market located near mile marker 10 on Highway 17 or check them out online at holdenbrothersfarmmarket.com.
Thanks for joining us at the Coastal Kitchen. What a wonderful meal for family and friends. Don't forget to check us out at Facebook, search for the Coastal Kitchen, and we'll see you next time.